So how is WTTC addressing climate change? It's a really good question. It's also a very broad question, but I think the first thing we're doing is understanding where we stand as an industry. So the figures that Julia launched today and that methodology that we developed for the last sort of couple of years, for many years you've heard us talk about our economic footprint. So 10.4% of the global economy, all the jobs we create. And then we hear about climate change and we hear about sustainability, and we needed to understand where do we stand as a sector, right? We know we're generating all this $1 trillion to the economy. What is that footprint? So today we know that in 2023, our sector was responsible for 6.7% greenhouse gas emissions. So now we have a figure. We also know where those emissions are coming from. We know a portion is transportation, the next is utilities and electricity, and hence why renewable energies are so important. So at least we have a roadmap that tells us what we can do and what progress we can make to start reducing that footprint. So I think that is really the starting point. We're looking a lot at climate action across the sector. We're looking at what other members are doing and how we can share those best practices, but I would certainly say that the starting point is that data.
Sí, Ángela Gonzalo de Radio Televisión Española, Spanish Television. En castellano. ¿Cuál es el papel que deben de jugar Australia y Nueva Zelanda, los dos grandes países que hay en esta zona, para desarrollar a esos pequeños países que hay alrededor? Porque si ellos se quedan en el turismo que viene de fuera y le cuesta enviar, no sé si me explico, enviar a turistas hacia estas otras islas, ¿cuál sería el papel que tendrían que jugar estos dos grandes países que hay en la zona?
So the role that, Nejc, I'm translating this for you because I'm going to give this to you.
Sorry.
No, but just for you.
No, you answer in English, it's no problem.
No, it's a really good question because we are in a region where there's diversity and disparity, if you want to put it that way, where you have two sort of main big islands, and then what is the role that these islands need to play to really benefit the rest of the region? So I think it's a really good point. So let's see what Nejc has to say.
It is a great question. We actually addressed this in the report. So Australia, for instance, accounts for 75% of the regional GDP, of the tourism GDP. And connectivity to other islands is dependent on connectivity from Australia and New Zealand, which are also the two key source markets for the region. So one of the solutions we're providing, actually a best practice, is, for example, Fiji Airways, which has opened up smaller islands to the whole world. Also, the expansion airport infrastructure, like in Fiji Airport, is a good example of the airport upgrades, which are very important to sort of cater for the increased demand as well. But connectivity is not back to where it was in 2019 levels. It's still below.
Yeah.